At what point does it no longer become like the employer's responsibility to make sure you feel amazing in every part of your job? Like a job is a job. Like we work to get paid so that we can do the fun things in our, PMs or our weekends or whatever. But like, I was talking one of my most recent guests that was on, Steve talked about like if a company's got a limited budget and they can only hire like a few amount of people, they'll hire the best possible people they can, but those people won't want to do what he like coined as like the grunt work. And that you start to like get these divide and disconnects where it's like, well, I don't want to do the admin, I don't want to do this, I just want to do the things that I'm really passionate about. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but like, those things still exist, someone still needs to do them. Is there a job that exists where every moment through it you're all sunshines and rainbows? And I get there are things that employers can do, but like, you know I talk about a pendulum, and I feel that pendulum is swung, and at the same time that pendulum always will swing back at some point. And we hear all these like layoffs that are happening in tech and companies that are fighting over like what's the next craziest thing from an employer standpoint I can do, having social workers on staff, having masseuses, or having like full personal trainers. And Google, where they supply 3 meals a day plus full, like at what point does it go like, what, like we just need you to like be
Do your
interested in
job.
yeah, right, like we're how, like, I mean, this small business of 5 or 10 people can't compete with any of those things. And I don't think it's, and I would also argue there's some companies out there that are in a rundown space with old equipment, and yet their team loves what they're doing and they're highly engaged, right? So where does that like balance or shift I go come or not come from, but where do you think, like, how far, how much do you truly feel it should be on the employer?
There's always going to be a trade-off. There's always going to be things that you have to give up to get. And when it comes to what's the role of the employer, at the end of the day, it's kind of like real estate, right? It's supply and demand. If you've got a ton of people that are willing to do that job, that it's a really exciting, fun job, you maybe don't need to do as much because
Sure.
there's that inherent fun quality about what they're doing. Those are the people that, what is it, they live to work rather than work to live, or is it the other way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when you have those jobs that maybe don't have such fun elements, how do you compensate for that? How do you, and I don't mean compensation as in dollars, but like, how do you make up for that? How do you make it so that, yeah, okay, there's 30% of my job that I don't love, there's 70% that I do love, but I have all these amazing things that come as a package deal of working for this company, that make it worthwhile. Yeah, when I'm at home, I got to do dishes. I don't love doing dishes, but it's just part of life. I got to do it, right? So how do you make that whole employee experience one that people are excited about? And
Yeah.
that's where I focus my attention as a director of people and culture the most, so that I have this really vibrant, fun place to come to work, and people will, love being there. And there's so many things you can do, and so many aspects of employee engagement. But for me, it's about seeing each person as an individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot cookie cutter this. You cannot say, I am going to do these 5 things and everybody's going to love it and everyone's going to be happy. And that's where, the challenge lies in getting individual with people, getting really specific about what are your needs. And that can be really difficult, especially if you've got a large workforce.